All right, guys, good morning. How are you? Welcome back to the podcast. Today I wanted to do a morning brain dump exercise or morning brain dump recording. Sunday morning. I'm gonna talk some about this Care by Design Focus CBD drops. I'm gonna talk some more about my schedule yesterday and just how today I'm feeling good. So let me see. I'm kind of trying to see what I did yesterday. Let me see. So basically yesterday, I think in the morning I had a lot on my mind. I was recording a lot yesterday about kind of some intense topics, but I think I got that kind of out of my system, honestly. And I feel better today. Yeah, so it's been kind of a weird weekend. Spent my Friday night at the gym, spent my Saturday trying to kind of just make sure the day was going to go well. I didn't really have any real specific plans. Like Saturdays still tend to be my not really rest day per se, because Wednesdays are kind of like a rest day too. But yeah, I'd say Saturday, Sunday are both kind of rest days, to be honest. Like, I still kind of treat it like the weekend. I do feel a little bit pressure to get work done because I do have a lot more free time than usual because I'm kind of making my own schedules. But when I look at kind of my days, whereas before I was starting work at like 8 a.m., I'm now kind of starting earlier. Like I'm trying to get up before 7. This morning I'm a little later, but yesterday I was like way later. Yesterday I had some trouble getting up. But it was before I had started a new melatonin supplement. So, let me see. Yeah, I ended up yesterday recording after breakfast, and I wasn't really feeling like cooking too much. So I basically made like 2 boiled eggs and had a little bit of some what do you call it? A perfect bar, a little bit of some, I'll call it bulletproof cacao with a little coffee. Like it wasn't necessarily coffee, but the combo of all that got my energy kind of good in the morning. I feel like I felt better once the food and beverages and everything were kind of like in my system. I kind of, felt a little bit better. Like I do think in the morning, I learned this from someone else, but I do think in the morning sometimes, like if I do have some kind of like a blood sugar thing, that affects how I feel. I'm noticing, which is weird, if I eat an earlier dinner, I mean, I haven't really completely determined if this is too accurate, but I've noticed I feel a little more energetic in the mornings if I eat earlier, like a dinner early, like before 5 p.m., like if I eat around 4 p.m. or so, and then maybe like a snack later, but like a light snack. Like last night I was up late on purpose though. So yeah, I ended up yesterday having 8:15 a.m. breakfast. About 8:35 a.m. started recording podcasting. And around 12:30 p.m. I had lunch. I had some C4 with lunch. I think it was like 100 milligrams worth of the caffeine, like half a scoop. Uh, and it, I don't know if it really kicked in. Um, I'm trying to remember. So I don't think I had any edibles yesterday morning. I think I did vape though. I was vaping an indica in the morning a little bit. Um, it's a raw garden cartridge, and then I was gonna go to the gym, and I did go to the gym, but I don't know how long I took to get ready after lunch. I feel like I took forever. I stopped by the dispensary before the gym. Like it's a few lights past the gym. Um, and so I went to the dispensary, got some CBD products as well as some more edibles. I had two, like around 2 p.m. is when I was leaving the dispensary because I remember being in the car, checking the clock. I had this CBD, the Focus one, the Focus tincture drops. Um, that was around 2 p.m. And so I don't know. One thing that I was trying to determine was if this CBD product, and I'll talk more about it, if it interferes at all with the C4. So I was told, I'll get more into it, but I was told at the dispensary that this CBD product it does have THC in it, and it does have, the bud tender said sativa. He said it's a mix of sativa, THC, and CBD. So it has two different types of CBD, two different types of THC. That I'm still learning about. So that's what I did around 2 p.m. I went, let me see. I was in the parking lot of the gym at 3:09 p.m. So I don't know. I think I worked out maybe 30, 40 minutes. It wasn't a great workout, but it was like whatever. I think I did like 16 minutes between two of the bikes. I don't really like those ones with the digital screens. I just like the seat because the seat feels a little more comfortable. And then there's those other ones with the Schwinns that are just like the cycle for cycling. Like they're really good, but the seat is always so thin that like it kind of hurts my butt. And I kind of wanted to be on my phone a little bit, like checking some stuff and like um so usually I tend to like the wider seats for that just cuz it's like a little more chill. I don't feel like wobbly or anything. But I switched from that bike with that touchscreen thing to go onto one of the Schwinn bikes because I realized I was like, dude, like this thing is just like feeling weird. I didn't like that it was using that trainer mode, and then the resistance wasn't really what I wanted. I wanted to have control over the resistance and just kind of like increase it slowly, which I couldn't really do on that one because in the trainer mode it doesn't let you adjust it, and I couldn't remember how to get back to the other mode, and I kept pressing around and there's always like beeping noises, and I'm like, oh my god, like this is driving me insane. So after a few minutes I went on to the other bike, and I think I stayed maybe a total of 14 minutes on the bike. I didn't write it down, so now I don't remember. But I think it was 14 minutes on the bike total with the one I didn't want to use and the one I did want to use. So there was some time between walking to the other bike in the other room and getting it situated with the the foot straps and the pedals and like all this kind of stuff. So it wasn't a full 14 minutes even. Um, and then I did some yoga, stretching for like 15 minutes. Um, and then from there, um, I used some, I just did some curls and some shoulder, some shoulder, uh, some activating shoulder kind of, I don't know what you call it, just workouts for the shoulders, like where you hold the weights and you just kind of shrug your shoulders. I don't know what those are called. And then for the, what are these things on your sides? Kind of like, I don't know the proper term, like love handles, like whatever that those muscles are that go that length of like the side of your rib cage. I had like weights in one hand. I think they were like 27.5 pounds per side. Just I barely stretched it. I didn't do a lot because I don't work that out a lot, and um, I knew it was gonna be painful, so I just did a few, maybe like 5 reps, one set of 5 reps, like not a lot, just to get it a little stretched out. Uh, and yeah, and then at 3:09, I was in my car. I ordered some takeout from this Korean spot. I ordered bibimbap for dinner, but it was like a pretty early dinner. I ate at like 4 p.m. But yeah, that was a lot of driving between um, the dispensary and the gym, and then to get the Korean food. And from lunch, like pretty much from lunch all the way to dinner was like until 4 o'clock. Like I went to get the food. It was probably like close to 3:30. Excuse me. And then I drove home, and then showered, and then when I was gonna eat, it was about 4 already, about 4 p.m. So, at 3:09 p.m., I did have an edible. I got these new Cushy Punch, um, fast acting edibles. They're gummies. They are 10 milligrams each. I took one. I took one before I drove to get the Korean food, which I was thinking, I was like, oh no, they said it's fast acting, but it wasn't that fast acting at least, and so I didn't start feeling it till after I ate, till probably, dude, I felt it, I felt it, and I know I'm one individual person, so it could vary per person, but I felt it like, um, I don't know if it was 5 p.m., but I want to say it was closer to 5 p.m. because it was well after I'd eaten, and then I was just kind of like starting to feel a little like, whoa, like what's up, like I was listening to a lot of ASMR and just like music and all kinds of stuff, and I fell asleep. I ended up falling asleep a little bit. I don't know for how long. Maybe 30 minutes. I really don't know. Like I was nodding out. I remember like snoring a little bit. This was like 6 p.m. But then I kind of came to and had plenty of energy around 7, 8 p.m. Like I felt like the clock was just like ticking last night, and the night was going really fast. Near about 9:30 p.m. I mean, I was still stoned, but I was like, I gotta start unwinding to actually go to bed. Um, but I started dancing, um, and I did that till probably 11:30 p.m. honestly. Um, so probably like 2 hours. So even though my gym workout was kind of like weak, um, I got in like 2 hours of cardio dancing around, and that was nice. I had a snack around that time. I was starting to feel a little hungry around 8:30 or so, or 9:30. I don't know what time, but I do remember starting to feel a little bit hungry. But I was like, it's kind of late to be eating. My parents had some popcorn, and they're like, "Oh, we're making popcorn if you want some." And I'm like, Like in my head, I was like, "All right, I'm just gonna dance like a song or two, and then go to bed by 10." But I didn't do that. I stayed up, and so um, yeah. I mean, I had a good time. I'm actually a little sore this morning, um, and I did have some. Okay, so I had one of those melatonin gummies, probably around. I didn't write any of this down, so I don't really remember, but it was probably around 10:30. But I was still dancing at the time, and I was starting to feel tired. I'd had like 25, a little bit of that 40-to-1 CBD. I have another CBD tincture that was like 40-to-1. I had some of that last night. Um, I think I had a quarter of it and then 3/4 of it. So a whole dropper over the course of an hour or so. Because when I was actually going to try to go to sleep, I took like a dropper of it. And I didn't really go to sleep till like, I don't freaking know what time. Like I did have lights out around 10:30 p.m. I put on a candle, but I was still dancing. So, like, I don't know, like THC edibles get me kind of in this like dancing mood kind of thing. Like, I like taking advantage of that because, music just like feels amazing, and I was just enjoying myself, and it was just a nice time. It was good. Um, but yeah, it felt amazing, and um, it did help me with getting in the exercise because otherwise I wouldn't have really done that. Um, I wouldn't have really um, gotten in all that exercise. I think my food just arrived. I ordered a burrito. Let me see. So yeah, that's kind of what I did last night, and I am kind of sore. My shoulders are a little sore, like my shoulders, my neck. I don't know from what. Maybe from dancing. I don't know. Maybe I was like headbanging too much. It's kind of hard to tell. Um, that's probably what it was because I don't think I did like those shoulder exercises I did yesterday at the gym. I don't feel like they were so intensive that I would be as sore as I am right now. Like there are body parts that I don't really work out too much, and that's one area, like the shoulders. I don't really do that too often, but I feel like I shouldn't be this sore from, you know, just some quick, you know, 15 pounds, like it wasn't that much. So, um, I don't really specifically know what I've got for my plans for this morning. But I gotta go get my food before it gets too cold because it's freezing outside. Um, let's see. Alright. So it's a tier. And it is. We have mail too. No mail. All right. So I'll wash my hands. Pour a little OJ. Okay. So I'm just gonna ease into this morning. Let's see. Bear with me just a second. Don't need a lot. All right. Bear with me. I'm walking back to my room where I belong. You guys are on my adventure this morning. But yeah, it's hard to kind of like determine exactly what was going on with some of the stuff here and there. But I am trying to keep track. But yeah, I didn't really write stuff down yesterday, so I didn't really keep track too good. But yeah, I mean, I did end up getting the exercise in with all that dancing, and I think if I hadn't had the edible, I probably wouldn't have had my energy kind of in that space where I wanted to do dancing and things like that. Edibles kind of make me feel that way, like they're kind of good for like music type of stuff for me. But I slept late. I was in bed around midnight, which I knew was late. But my goal is usually breakfast around 8, so we're pretty much getting there. It's 8:01 a.m. right now, so I'm going to eat this, and then I'll continue recording. But yeah, for now, that is what it is. Alright, so let's get back into it. Sorry, I hope that coughing didn't start just now. Yeah, when I hit start, I was coughing a little, clearing my throat. So yeah. Yeah, but I did get extra exercise last night. Just finished some breakfast right now. When I first woke up this morning, so it must have been near 6:30 a.m. ish, and I was wanting to let's call it 6:45 a.m. I don't know what time it was. I looked at my clock around 6:55 a.m. because I was noticing it was getting really bright out. But yeah, like I was kind of on like a light amount of food yesterday. Like my appetite wasn't too strong yesterday, and it might be because I had some MCT oil and cacao. Well, MCT oil with my breakfast that was in the cacao, but I think, and I could be wrong, but I do think MCT oil kind of suppresses my appetite a little bit. And okay, and people say that this the THCV, which is in this tincture, this CBD dropper, It has um, it has appetite suppressant properties. I'm still learning about THCV. Um, so let me go ahead and read the box, the information about this product. So the brand is called Care by Design. The type is called Focus. So it has different. Care by Design is a brand, California brand, CBD THC products. It has uh, basically it's a tincture. It's I'm trying to find. So it says total cannabinoids 525 milligrams. So that's totals 525 milligrams. So the majority of that for the whole tincture before using anything is 375 milligrams of CBD, and the next largest is CBDA, which is 75 milligrams. Then we have two, like it's broken down into two THCs, which are each 37.5 milligrams. So it says THC 35.7 milligrams and THCV, as in Victor, 37.5 milligrams. It says full spectrum cannabis drops designed to help you flourish and boost your outlook, featuring THC, CBD, CBDA, and THCV to enhance the experience. So per milliliter, each dropper is 1 milliliter per millimeter. It has THCV of 2.5 milligrams, THC of 2.5 milligrams, CBD of 25 milligrams, CBDA of 5 milligrams. So types of CBD, it's like 30 milligrams and then like 5 milligrams of THC. So it's like 30 milligrams and 5 milligrams. So like 35 total milligrams of cannabinoids, but 30 of that is CBD and 5 of that is THC. And it also has ingredients of MCT oil, cannabis oil, and terpenes. Oral use, dropper, hold the drops under your tongue 15 to 30 seconds before swallowing. I like to do that 15 to 30 seconds under the tongue and then kind of wash it down with some water. That's just kind of my preference. To me, it's a little oily and a little weird, but I mean, I'm used to having like ghee and MCT oil and that kind of stuff in my coffee or tea in the morning sometimes, and so I'm not too unfamiliar with like drinking oil. It is just kind of like it's hard to do. Like sometimes it's kind of like not really what I want as a texture in my mouth of just like oil with no food attached to it, and it's not like a sweet oil or really flavorful. This one doesn't say. But it looks like if it's 30 and 5, that would be 30 and 5. I'm trying to do math in my head. That's 6 to 1. So that's pretty much a 6 to 1. Right, a 6 to 1 CBD to THC ratio, if I'm not mistaken. And then the manufacturing information with the date and all that, that's something to check because these things do expire. This one expires this year, actually, next month. So I've got barely a month to use this. It says focus drops 15 milliliter. The buy date. So the date you're supposed to buy it before is March 24, 2023. I bought this on February 18th, 2023. So things like that, you want to pay attention and make sure you're not getting something expired. This is close to the expiration. I mean, in all honesty, things that are even near the expiration, if you want to be real about it, sometimes the stuff that's even near near the expiration, uh, a lot of times it's like a precaution. Like, you can use it after, but it's kind of like, I do look at the dates because I'm like, I'm paying a lot for this. Like, it was $48 for 15 milliliters, basically. It was $48, and it's really not a lot of THC or CBD. I mean, if you look per total cannabinoids, 525 milligrams, it's like about a half a gram, basically, for $48. So, like, a lot of times too, it's kind of like similar to what you would get for a what do you call those things, like a vape pen. But let me do this math. So 525 and 3 is it 525? 525 divided by 35, it's 15. Yeah, 15 milliliters. So you basically get 15 doses if you use the full dose. Now, this morning I'm having this instead of coffee. And I had this while I was kind of lounging this morning, like around just before 7 a.m. I was on Instagram with some friends, we're trying to figure out these cross tickets for somebody. And, I basically took it early while I was still a little bit groggy, drinking some water. I noticed my energy slowly increasing. Now, mind you, I did mention I went to sleep last night around midnight-ish. About 10 minutes after midnight, I was still kind of fumbling around with my phone. And I was just like, get off the phone, like, go to bed. I remember getting up around 1 a.m. to use the restroom. So I kind of dozed sometime, I want to say around 12:30-ish, and then woke up around 1 a.m. I don't really remember much after that. I think I went right back to sleep. So let's say I slept around 1 a.m., woke up around 6:45. Even if I say that I slept like 12:30 and then woke up around like 6:30, like, I don't really know what time I woke up for sure, but I didn't sleep that much. Like, it wasn't 8 hours of rest, but I mean, after taking a little bit of this, I think I took not a full milliliter. Not a full dropper, 1 milliliter full. I took like maybe 75% of a milliliter, 0.75. And I mean, it's subtle. The effect of this is subtle. There's not like a euphoria necessarily, but there's not like a tension or a stress. I wouldn't really call it like a relaxation similar to like a body high. It's more like it's calm. It's got like a calming effect. a lot less internal chatter. I'm able to just kind of focus on like I'm not maybe mentally quick or fast like with coffee or tea and caffeine, but I'm able to, attend to what I'm saying. Unlike, if I have like an edible in my system, it's like God only knows where I was going with the conversation or what I was getting at or where I was trying to go and what I was trying to say. Like sometimes just mid sentence, I'll just like, I don't even remember what I was saying. I don't see that with this. It's not a lot of THC, but that is in a way a lot of THC, like 5 milligrams, but through a tincture, it's different than through like edibles. But um, there's a mild waviness. It's like mild, mild, mild. Um, and yeah, I would just say it kind of, for me, it's slowed down like the internal chatter that's like constantly just distracting me. Um, and kind of that negativity, like you guys know, like in the morning, I've got like this intense negativity some mornings, and yeah, this morning I didn't really wake up feeling that way at all. Um, I took some things last night. I'm not sure how much that is still in my system and contributing to how I'm feeling this morning, but the way I feel this morning compared to how I felt yesterday morning is significantly better and different, even though I slept less. But I did get more exercise yesterday if I consider the late night exercising. Because I was late, like, and I don't usually work out at like 9:30 at all. Like, it's not usually like a time for me to be like exercising. But I was like into this music, and um, I was getting more and more and more pumped up as I was listening to stuff. Um, Let me see. It was this remix. It was this remix by that Lil Wayne song Emily. Emily. So it was a remix to Emily. Um, and basically it was a remix, and the remix was by Side Piece. Um, and I listened to that song a few times and got like super pumped up, and then I just continued down the rabbit hole of my playlist and things. So that was nice. But I was feeling tired because, like, mind you, like I said, I was taking other stuff in the middle of working out. I did have some melatonin. I did have some other CBD that was like a 40-1. So it's only got like that little bit of THC. This one, is a 6-1 pretty much. It doesn't say that on here, I don't think. But doing the math, it's a 6-1. Proportion wise, for every 6 of CBD, you get 1 of THC. Yeah, and this was manufactured and packaged like 2 years ago. So this is from like March 24th of 2021. And it's 2023 now. So it's like this isn't brand new, straight out of the, production line. Like this is old. The QR code doesn't work. It doesn't link to a website directly. I wouldn't blame the actual, I don't know if I could blame the actual product for that. That might be the dispensary's issue, but I don't know. And of course you have these stickers that cover the box, whatever's written on the box. So a lot of times I like to try to peel these off and see what it says underneath. I've noticed this because I've been using cannabis products for so long. Like, first they were medically legal, and I could get whatever I wanted with it. Well, first I was just getting it from my military friends, um, because I was living on a campus that had a bunch of veterans, and a lot of them were cleared to get medical cannabis. And so I would just wait till somebody offered and just have what they offered me. It was pretty potent, and it was pretty much always flower. Um, I remember having some, I think there were some infused mango, like cannabis mango products. There were some other, like Cushy Punch. Um, but back then, Cushy Punch, I think it was a 100 milligrams. I can't take this sticker off. I think it was 100 milligrams per um, uh, per gummy. It was like one square giant gummy, and each piece was like 25 milligrams. So that for me was a very high dose. Um, but I hardly buy tinctures. I used to buy tinctures back then because I used to like CBD products, but I realized it doesn't last that long. And so I feel like sometimes a full dropper is too much. For sleep, for me, usually a full dropper is good. But that's usually because I have caffeine in my system. Because I, wake up and I have caffeine. And so I'm trying to find maybe like a caffeine alternative. But the thing is, I don't think I can really be like driving under the influence of this. So even if I take it in the morning, I'm going to have to plan quite a bit of my day around having this in my system. It's not like I could just take it and like go to work. I mean, at the moment, I feel like I could. Like, I don't feel stoned, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like more focused, less focused on the stuff that depression kind of gets in my way of. Like, something simple, like, I saw the food with the delivery app. It was at the door, and I just simply went and got it and just ate my food and had a pleasant breakfast. And you know I had a couple pieces of clothing like on the floor from last night, or just like just throwing my stuff. There's just a few things like some socks and a couple, like, I guess the tank top I was using when I was dancing, and I was like sweating all over it, and I had that just like on my bed. And I was like, usually I would be like, I don't want to take like the extra couple seconds and a few pieces of energy to go put this in the clothes hamper. But I was like, I went to go get my food, and like when I ate and everything, and then when I was putting up my dishes and like all that kind of stuff, I was just like, all right, time to clean up. And then, time to clean up the little bit of laundry stuff that I have that I need to put away in the laundry. And just simple. It was just like matter of fact. It wasn't like, oh gosh, like this is such a chore. Like, a lot of times, usually there's like that kind of mentality towards like, okay, if I get takeout, for example, I might not, when I'm done eating, I might not take it directly. Like, if I'm not eating it in the kitchen and I'm eating in another room, I might not take the trash directly to the kitchen right away when I'm done. I might be like, okay, I have the bag, so I'll throw all the trash in it, but then it's like, I'll wait till I get up and take a bathroom break or something, and then just get up and do it. Because it just feels like just that extra bit of energy used to take it to the kitchen when I'm not already getting up in the first place. It's just energy I don't want to use usually. I don't feel that way right now. Like, I feel kind of like I could do chores. I could do a lot of things that I've been putting off. I wouldn't say I have like a lot of like massive like energy. Um, but I'm wondering, because I've got some writing I want to do today. I'm wondering how that's gonna go. I do feel pretty at peace. I don't have any, other than the little bit of pain from the back of my neck, like my shoulders, back of my neck. Um, and that's like workout pain. It's not like other kind of pain. Um, but that has even decreased. And then I've noticed some decreased pain with some of the other muscles that were kind of a little sore this morning when I got up. I felt a little sore this morning. But I do think hydrating helps too. Like, I think just drinking water helps. I didn't really plan out my day too much today, but I kind of wanted to go to Cabrillo in San Pedro and just like go over there. I'm not too sure yet though, but I kind of want to go. I haven't been in a while, and I've just been kind of thinking about that place and wanting to go over there. So I might, but I don't really know for sure. It just seems like a lot. Because yesterday I did spend a lot of time driving, which was weird. Like going to the dispensary. Actually waited at the dispensary for quite a few minutes. I don't usually go on Saturdays. I usually go during the week, like to try to get back either by the time school's let out or by the time rush hour traffic is going to start around 5 p.m. or after the traffic has ended. Like, I usually time things to not be out at peak hours, and yesterday I was kind of out during peak hours with the gym and then going to get the Korean food from that restaurant. So, being out around like 1:30 and then probably again around like 3 p.m., that was a lot of driving. It's LA traffic, so it's like there's gonna be there's one area where I was just getting stopped at like every single light, and I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I think that's about all I have to say for this morning's brain dump. Like I'm not really like pushing products and saying people need to like try melatonin or CBD or THC or whatever. Oh yeah, I wanted to look at the THCV to see if I could find more information. I should have done this earlier. Um, uh, okay. Um, let's see. So it says it's a naturally occurring analog of THC. Um, it says so basically THC is psychoactive at CB1 and CB2 receptors. THCV is non-psychoactive. I don't know what a neutral CB1 antagonist / reverse agonist. It can act as an agonist or antagonist at the CB2 receptors depending on its dose. So, let's see. Quite weak in terms of potency compared to THC. Small doses daily, aka microdosing. It likely provides a refreshing health benefit without getting too high to be productive. So that, I think, makes a lot of sense. Um, I'm not going to read this whole article. So, it has a similar chemical structure to THC. It is an intoxicating compound. You can get high. It also offers therapeutic effects. It says THCV was discovered in 1973. There hasn't been a lot of research on it. Generally, people say it's non-intoxicating, but it does sound like it is intoxicating, depending. It doesn't say how much is considered a low quantity versus a high quantity or large quantity. It may give you a cerebral high. It can make you feel lightheaded. Yeah, it says like based on the CB1 receptor, it suppresses food appetite. A dose between 5 milligrams and 10 milligrams may have an effect on the appetite of a person. And this tincture has, with the full dropper, 2.5 milligrams. I only took most of one dropper, not even a whole dropper full. I kind of noticed the anti-inflammatory effects, pain relief a little bit. I can't say it's specifically from the THCV. It could be the combination of everything. But yeah, as far as like anxiety, I don't really have any. As far as like depression, I don't feel that kind of like low energy negativity, kind of like preference to be like pretty isolated. I don't really feel any of that. So and I was feeling slightly better yesterday too, and I don't know what to attribute that to because I was doing a lot of different things. I had a lot of different products in my system during the day yesterday. So, but yeah, I always like recording about new products, and hopefully this is informative. Don't do anything that's illegal. I can't recommend that, but yeah, I know for a lot of people who can't find Delta 9 THC, they use Delta 8, or they find Delta 8 products around their neighborhoods. So that's an alternative that I've noticed. Some people in non-legal states have been able to find Delta 8 products. I don't really know what more to say, but alright, with that, thanks for listening.